when you're trying to find out what some people are doing in the draft. Like, for instance, I believe, based on a couple of conversations I've had, that there are some people inside the Bengals who like Justin Herbert and who like him a lot. And that's one of the reasons why last week in my column I said, if I were the Dolphins and I had a love of Joe Burrow well over the regard I had for any other quarterback in this draft, I'd pick up the phone and I'd call the Bengals and offer them 4 ones,
Such
because you never know what they're going to say. The Dolphins have 5 ones in the next 2 drafts. They got 3 this year, 2 next year. If they traded 4 ones for to move up to number 1 in this draft, they would still have a 1, 4 2s, and Joe Burrow out of these 2 drafts. So why not? But again, I don't know that the Dolphins feel that way. I'm just saying that if that's the way I felt, I'd call the Bengals and offer it to them.
By the way, if you're the Bengals and you pass on Joe Burrow, an Ohio kid who's already raised more money in Ohio just with his Heisman speech and everything like that, Bengals fans would expect it, by the way, just because that's the way the organization has been. But if you go down to 5, Air Bear's still going to be there. And that's probably in their mind. They're like, okay, we're getting picks.
Maybe both Justin Herbert and Tua are there. So it might not be a bad move for the Bengals, but it's only a good move for the Bengals if there's some hard and fast belief in that organization that Justin Herbert's really good. Or Tua, one of those 2 guys that we're comfortable casting our lot with those guys.
A lot of smoke behind people saying that the Miami Dolphins are more into Herbert than they are into Tua. And then everybody's saying Tua's draft stock is potentially tanking right now because people are starting to question his durability. 2 of his surgeries were on sprained ankles, but he did have 4 surgeries documented in his 2 years. Are you hearing from teams that the Tua question is a big question and nobody knows what's going to happen on draft night? Or is this all smoke right now?
No, Pat, I don't know what it is, because the Dolphins are the CIA right now. I'm just telling you, they're not contributing to any of this. But I will only say that Mike Tannenbaum, who was obviously the GM there before Chris Greer and remains close to Stephen Ross, he went on ESPN last week and he said, I think it would be irresponsible to use a top 10 pick in this draft based on his injury history and the fact that your doctors can't get their hands on him, that it would be irresponsible to take 2 in the top 10. Now, I'm not alleging anything. In my belief, I just believe if Mike Tannenbaum is saying that, he's saying that surely because it's his opinion. But I also think that his closeness to the organization, I don't know that he knows something or not. All I'm saying is that when I hear him say that, I believe that I take that a little bit more seriously than just some commentator saying I wouldn't take him in the top 10.
That's such an interesting strategy by you to decipher what information is good and what information is bad, because everybody's opinions are formed on what they hear and what they know. So if Tannenbaum's coming out and saying something, it's like, okay, maybe he wasn't told this directly, but for some reason he feels this way, and this is his circle. There's obviously a reason to potentially think that. I mean, that is a great strategy by you.
So I don't know. I have no idea if it's true. I don't have any idea if it's true or not. All I know is that when Mike Tannenbaum says something about the Dolphins, my ears perk up. That's all.